Scorpio, hi and welcome in to your reading. My name is Gina and I will be pulling some oracle cards and some tarot cards for you this week to see if there's any messages from the universe for Scorpio. Remember that the reading is for the collective, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And don't forget to check your moon and your rising if this one doesn't resonate with you. What messages are coming through for the Scorpio collective today from the universe? What messages for the Scorpio collective? We've had a pretty full-on, we've got death and rebirth, darkness to light as your oracle card. We've had a pretty full-on few weeks energetically. We've had the big full moon last week, which was a really good time for letting go, detaching, letting go of things that no longer serve you. And we've got Mercury in retrograde, which is just, I mean, that can cause havoc for us a little bit, especially when it comes to technology and things like that. So if you are, you know, back up your phone, back up your computer, just pay a bit more attention there, because Mercury in retrograde can cause glitches, bumps in the road for us human beings. Okay, Scorpio, what tarot cards are coming through for Scorpio? Messages for Scorpio today. Queen of Wands, Two of Swords, the Hierophant, death and rebirth, darkness to light. Just let me get some clarification around these cards. Clarification around the Queen of Wands for the most recent past, Knight of Swords, Ace of Swords. And then we've got the Two of Swords in the current energy. Confirmation about the Two of Swords in the current energy. Three of Cups, Justice, and future. Some future cards for Scorpio for the Hierophant. Some clarification around the Hierophant, please. Thank you. Page of Pentacles, King of Wands. Okay, so we've got this darkness to light, death and rebirth as your oracle card, which I love because it's saying you're going from a place of darkness to light, basically. In your most recent past, I feel like there's been some sort of truth spoken. Someone's spoken some truth. Don't know whether this is actually you, and maybe the words were a little harsh. That Knight of Swords energy. The message was, you know, it could have been a fallout. I'm not saying it was a blazing row, but there was some truth spoken, and it was a bit cutting. This Queen of Wands energy is like this. Someone who came from a place of not high emotion. There was no high emotion. This person was kind of quite grounded when they were speaking. So if it was you that said, look, I need to speak some truths, then you did it from a place of calm, grounded. You weren't being emotional. Like you were, the words were emotional, but you weren't, how do I describe this? You were coming from a place of, you'd thought about it first. It wasn't a quick reaction. It wasn't it's not, you'd actually thought about your words before you spoke them, but I feel like you were speaking a truth, and I feel like that truth was a little bit cutting. Maybe if it wasn't you speaking your truth, it's someone that's spoken their truth to you, and it hurt, or it stung. It possibly was truth though, and that's why it hurt, and that's why it stung, because they weren't wrong. It's one of the two. In the current energy, you've got the Two of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Justice card. So there's like this balance. I feel like it's interesting. There's this Two of Swords energy, which shows me that you're kind of a bit up in your head, feeling a bit restricted, feeling a bit caught up in your thoughts. Almost a little tiny bit depressed, if that makes sense. But on the outside, no one would know. On the outside, you're still showing up in this Three of Cups energy, which is you know, life and soul of the party. So if someone was to see you in a social situation, nobody would go, oh, Scorpio's not doing well. Like, internally, you've got a lot going on in your head, but to the outside world, no one would know. And I felt this Justice card, whether there's some Libra around you, because there is the Ace of Swords and there is the Knight of Swords, so I feel it, and then Justice is Libra. There's definitely a lot of air energy around you, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but Libra's very strong. I feel like there's not as much of a decision to be made here, but more of like a, that's what you've been trying to do, balance, like have this balance. So there's these two sides weighing up against each other for you. There's like this dark place that you can go to, and then there's this light place, and you kind of you go into the dark and you pull yourself back out, and you know, dust yourself off, you know, put your game face on and go out into the world. So I feel like you're constantly at the moment in this juggling act of fighting the darkness, kind of not allowing yourself to slip into it, you know, getting out of bed every morning, facing the world, and putting on a game face, like everything's okay. I feel like that's where you're at, and you're trying really hard to be in that place of light, but you are aware that you keep, or can slip easy into that darker place. When I say darker place, I use the word depression, but I use it lightly. I don't think this is a depression that's like swallowing you up, but you're aware that it's there. You're aware of it. Moving into the future, we've got this King of Wands energy and the Hierophant. So we've got, I don't know, there's this King of Wands energy around, and there's this Queen of Wands energy here. So I feel like there's a connection with a person. The two of you are very similar. The two of you are very, very similar. And I think that this altercation, these words, this truth that's been spoken between the two of you, this person's not going anywhere. I don't feel like the truth that was spoken is, I think it's been a good thing. It doesn't feel like it now. Everybody's just kind of quietly just trying to process it all. But I feel like there's going to be some message from this person. There's going to be, it's not going to be quick, and it's going to be a thought out message. It's going to come from a place of deep thought. But when they do come through, it could even be an email. I don't know why. I feel like an email is a bit formal in a love relationship, but maybe a letter, maybe old-fashioned, like a letter. Yeah, maybe it's going to be like an old-fashioned, maybe they're going to put pen to paper, or send you a card, or I feel like it's not a modern, it's not going to be a text, it's not a text message. I feel like it's much more of a old-fashioned way of communicating, written down, kind of, yeah, I get this feeling that the communication is going to be more, not formal, old-fashioned is the word I'm getting, old-fashioned. But it's light, it's moving towards the light, it is moving away from the darkness, and it's progression, and it's the truth that needs to be spoken has been spoken, and right now you're in a place of just holding it together, balancing emotions, balancing yourself out, kind of finding a ground. But in the future there's some sort of message that's going to come to you, maybe in the form of a letter, a written letter, that's going to, from this person. This relationship's not over. Just two more cards from the universe to clarify and end the reading. The future for Scorpio. This one wants to come out. The 8 of Swords crossed by the High Priestess. Wow. So yeah, I feel like right now you feel very stuck. Like, which way do I go? Where do I turn? I don't know what to do. And that feeling again of that depression, that depressive state is there floating around. I feel like the cards are saying tap into yourself. Go within. Tap into the High Priestess energy that is within you. Tap into your faith. Tap into your gut. Kind of like, you know you, and you need to go to that space of finding your peace, because you can, and you're not stuck. When you go to the place of the High Priestess energy, you then realise that you are not stuck in the 8 of Swords energy. But you've got to get into the High Priestess mode, which is really touching in on faith. Whether that means, I don't know, for some of you it might mean prayer. It might mean, I don't know, going to church if that's what you do. For some of you it could be meditation, yoga. For some of you it might just mean kicking off your shoes, going outside and standing in nature, grounding yourself, getting out of your own head. I feel like that 8 of Swords again is you all up in your own head. And then we've got this, yeah, the King of Pentacles and Death. So that is over for you. This dark space is over for you. You are moving from the darkness to the light. The death card here at the very end is, for me, crossing the whole reading and saying endings. It's the end of life as you knew it, but it's the beginning of a new path. And I feel like the things that have been said needed to be said, because it's cleared the path, it's cleared the air has been cleared, and the communication you're going to receive from now on in is going to be positive, it's going to be light. But something needed to be cleared away, because there was an elephant in the room that, yeah, just needed to be addressed. And now it has been addressed. You can move forward and you can move towards the light. So if you are feeling like you're in a dark place right now, just take some hope from this reading that that's not going to last forever. That you are moving towards the light. That you have got this. And that whatever makes you feel that feeling of fear, or that makes you feel low, is coming to an end. Those feelings are coming to an end. Okay, Scorpio, I hope that this helped. Please leave me a comment down below if it did. And I'll be back next week with another reading. Until then, take care of yourselves. Okay, bye.